everyone, hope you're well. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a video all about not being sure what you want to be anymore, not very sure where you want to go in life, what direction you want to go in, and just generally struggling, because that's basically what's going on in my life right now. I have done a blog post on this, and I don't tend to do videos on what I've done on my blog, and I'm not sure why, I just never have. I think maybe I've always felt like it's a bit of duplication, but I was at a Next Blogger event recently, and the lovely Lily Pebbles and Anna from the Anna Edit were there, and they made a very valid point that sometimes your audiences are very, very different on all social platforms, and I just don't, I'm just grateful people watch at all. Like I almost sometimes forget people do, because it just feels like it's just mind-blowing that people want to listen to me witter on. So I just thought maybe it'd be a good idea to do this video, because I got such a big response. Like, it was my most viewed blog post in months, and so many comments and emails and private messages from people feeling the same. So I thought I'll do a video. It's not really my usual style, but may as well give it a go. So it's just all about not being sure who you want to be anymore. And I've had a really, really crap couple of weeks where I just don't feel like I'm succeeding on any front. So I work 30 hours a week, I do this blog and YouTube stuff pretty much full time, but based around my other work and my kids and my husband and my life and my home and whatever. And I'm a mum, obviously, I'm a wife, I have friends, so I just feel like I'm failing on all fronts. I'm failing as an employee, I'm failing as a blogger and YouTuber, I'm failing as a mum, and I'm failing as a friend and a wife, and it's just a bit rubbish. I just feel like my brain can't split into like the different sections. It just tries to go all at one thing for a second, and then before I finish whatever I'm doing with that, I flip to something else on another thing, and I just never get anything done like efficiently. I always end up getting things done, but it means I'm up till 1 in the morning editing, or it means that I'm rushing around trying to clean the house when the kids are distracted for a minute with Rob, because I don't like doing things like that, because I want to spend time with them. And then I feel like the kids prefer Rob over me because they get to spend more time with him, because he's not having to do all the extra things I do. And don't get me wrong, like, he works really hard and he would help around the house loads, but I'm just really a bit of a control freak, and I don't let go, and I feel like, well, by the time I tell you to do something, I may as well have done it myself, and there's no chance of it going wrong, if you know what I mean. And that sounds really bad. Like, me and Rob have been together a long time, we've been together 8 years, and we know each other inside out, but I just can't seem to train him very well. Like, he'll like take the bin out and then not put a bin bag in, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and it's like the most annoying thing. So I end up just doing everything myself. Everything. And then sometimes he's not here. He is only here at the moment because he's downgraded because of a bad accident he had. So this isn't the norm. Like, the norm is that it is usually just me. And I'm really struggling, and it feels like I never want to put across a persona where I'm like really good at everything and this, that and the other, because I'm not. I'm really not. And I get so many messages of people saying, how do you do it? How do you balance all this? And I often don't feel like I am. I feel like I'm like above water, like sort of floating along, and then underneath the water I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And I'm just like panicking. Like, I'm always against deadlines, I'm always rushing, I'm always here, there and everywhere, and I never seem to allow myself either time for myself or time to like give us leeway in anything. We're rushing from one thing to another, to another, to another all the time. And I keep trying to step back, and I keep trying to like do things a bit differently, and it just never happens, and it's really hard. We'll quickly speak about my real job. That sounds awful. Not my real job, my day job. I mean, day job, this is a real job as well. I work almost 30 hours, 29.5 hours in an office, doing a job that I enjoy, with people I really enjoy being with, and when I'm there, obviously that's where all my attention goes, and that's fine. And I sit there and work. Like, it's not affecting my work in the sense that I'm not doing my job properly. I 100% am. It's more like my mental health at work, I guess, because I'm sitting there doing my job fine and doing what I need to do, but in my head I'm like, oh my goodness, need to film this when I get home, need to pick up this for the kids, need to do this, need to do that for nursery, need to figure out what we're having for dinner, and my brain's just like constantly. So even though I probably think the only thing that's probably not really affected in all of this is my normal job, my day job, because you just have to do that and you have to be good at that, otherwise you get fired. So yeah, that's like fine in terms of productivity in that, but in my head, like, I come away from work exhausted, because I just feel like I'm rushing, and I'm rushing to get in on time because I've got the kids and a really small amount of time between dropping them off and getting to work. And blogging and YouTube is probably the biggest thing. It's probably the thing I'm really struggling with, because it is a full-time job. It's just a full-time job I cram into a Thursday and evenings and whenever my kids aren't awake. And it's hard. It's answering emails, it's social media, it's producing videos, editing videos, taking photos, editing photos, writing blog posts, writing copies and captions for social media stuff for brands, and it's doing my own organic content, because I never want to become like fully doing loads of brand stuff. I want to keep it sort of 80% me doing videos like this and normal stuff, and then 20% where I get to work with brands I love and this, that and the other, and share all the good things with you. But it's really hard when you're doing it by yourself. A lot of people think that I'm with an agency, or I'm with Channel Mom or anything like that, and I'm not. It's just me. I'm just a lone ranger, and yeah, so I answer all my own emails, I do all my negotiating with brands, I do all my invoicing, I do all my accounts, I do all my chasing, and I'm not being like, oh, woe is me. Like, I'm in a very amazing position. I've built this up over sort of 3 years, and I love it, and I love connecting with people. And it's my passion, and it's just what I think about all day, every day. I love it so much. So please don't think that I'm like being ungrateful or being rude about any of this. It's not that. I'm just trying to explain where I'm coming from like the blog post I did, and then doing this video, just because it's sort of attributes that other people have picked up on and gone, oh my goodness, I don't do blog and YouTube stuff, but I feel exactly the way you're feeling. I'm being pulled in all these different directions, and I'm really struggling. So yeah, with blog and YouTube stuff, it's just what I've just said. It's relentless. It's the best job ever, but it's possibly one of the hardest jobs I've ever had, other than being a parent. And yeah, I love it. And so many people ask, would you do this full time? And my goodness, if I could sit in an office with all the lovely girls that like do the same sort of thing, like friends of mine and people I admire and respect and take as like a huge inspiration, if I could sit in an office with them, all of us at our desks, like chatting, having that office environment, doing what we do, doing all this, having a steady income, because that's another big thing. Some months this is great, like some months this is a good salary, and then other months it's barely anything. So it's just really hard. Like, I'm a very paranoid person, and I don't actually, even though I do all this, I don't have a lot of confidence, and I kind of feel I don't know if I could base the whole job on whether people want to watch me or like me, or whether people want to work with me, and that, like, constantly selling yourself and constantly putting yourself out there for people to judge in a nice way and have all the positive things, but also all the negative things. There's barely any negative things for going to my day job in an office doing supply chain. There's barely anything. I don't get abuse. I don't get like people telling me my voice sounds weird, or I have one eye bigger than the other, or my kid's head's a weird shape, or anything like that. Or that I sell myself out and I sell my kids for money and this, that and the other. I don't get that in my office. I don't get that in my day job. So it's just another thing I'm just so scared about, so scared. And it can be really lonely, like really lonely. When I had quite a bit of hate on previous brand videos, I suddenly felt really alone, and I was like, oh my goodness. I was dreading opening my phone. I was dreading having another comment. I was having people set up anonymous accounts and like coming at me on all social media, and it was hard. It was hard to like not have like a office to go into and talk about it. Like, obviously I've got my friends that do this as well, and we chat about it, and it's great, but I don't know, there's just something that makes you realise that you are on your own, and you're more in competition with people in a way, in a horrible way. I never usually feel like that. I never sort of compare myself to people, because more I respect people and find them as an inspiration, rather than thinking, oh, why are they doing that? Why am I never, that's not my mindset. And I would hate it to be like that. Like, I love all these girls. I would never want to be up against them in that sort of sense. So again, I just feel a bit strange about it all. I don't know if I'm like cut out for full time. I take my hat off to all my lovely friends that do it full time, because utmost respect. They're just amazing. They're such an inspiration, and they're so like strong and independent and brave. I love it. Ugh, you know, when you talk for a while and you're like, where was I going with this? I'm not very sure. I think I'm just downloading and verbally going on and on a bit. Yeah, so there's that. That's just, I don't know what to do. I can't drop any more hours from my day job, so I don't really know whether this has to give a little, whether I maybe have to step back a bit and not do so much. But that breaks my heart, because I've worked my backside off to get it to where it is, and I love it. I love it so much. So yeah, I don't know. And then on like the mum front, goodness me, like the mum guilt, I just feel awful just now. I feel worse second time round, like obviously having a second baby and going back to work and being busy all the time than I did first time round. And I feel guilty that Isla and Lachlan don't get to spend all day together before Isla starts school next year. I just feel guilty about that, because their bond's growing every day. I feel guilty that I'm not there all the time, even though they love nursery and I love nursery, and I'm just having a confidence crisis. But sometimes I feel like yeah, they prefer Rob to me, or they prefer anyone to me, because I'm just the mum that's always on the go. I'm the mum that's trying to do my best for them, trying to do literally everything. All of this, all of working and this, that and the other, is for them. It's so that we can have nice holidays. It's so that we can save up for a deposit for a house. It's so that they get to learn the value of hard work. It is for them. It's not like a selfish reason why I'm doing it all. But I still feel like a rubbish mum. I still feel like I should be everything for them. I should be there from the minute they wake up to the minute they go to bed, and that's just not feasible in this day and age. I know I'm being silly, like really silly, but I don't know, it's weighing on my mind more than it usually does. And then like just being a good wife. Rob's so understanding and he's great and he loves all this. Like he's really proud, and he's getting involved a little bit on Instagram and stuff like that. He loves it, and he sees the benefit of it for our family and how much I enjoy it and how happy I am when I do it. So I'm lucky he gets it and he appreciates it, and he doesn't ever poo-hoo it, and he helps as much as he can. But then sometimes I feel like I'm sitting through another room editing when we could be spending time together. And we have tried to take a step back and have a couple hours every night at least with each other. And then I've tried to shut off a couple of nights where I'm not doing as much. So we're doing like better than that. But like our relationship's completely fine, like everything's fine. And obviously he goes away a lot, so I should really appreciate the time he's here more. But it's just like deadlines, admin, everything. Oh. And then my house, like I am terrible. I need everything to be completely where it should be and tidy and very, very clean in order for me to like work or be efficient or sit down and play with the kids. It's just a mindset. It's probably like left over from my sort of eating troubles and sort of, yeah, eating disorders. That a lot of my behavior around that was control and sort of OCD behavior, and that's I've not lost the cleaning side of it and the very, very tidy and everything in its right place to like get your mind to work and do what it's supposed to. So yeah, that's just everything in a nutshell. Kind of a little bit of a chat about when like you really don't know what you want to be. I don't know whether I want to be full-time career and give up the blogging and vlogging, or full-time blogging and vlogging, or just full-time mum and just sack everything off, or yeah, it's hard, or a different balance. I'm at a kind of like crossroads, and I don't know what that was, crossroads, and I'm not very sure what to do. So I just thought I'd get this out there like I did with the blog post, and so many people have shared their stories. So yeah, it's just great. I just wanted to let people know that it's very normal to feel like this, and I certainly feel like it a lot. So yes, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed hearing me ramble on. Sorry about that, this is not my usual style of video, but thanks for watching if you got all the way to the end of this, and I'll see you soon. Bye.